hello. Welcome back to this new reading log. I am going to continue reading more BL because in my last reading log, I did plan to read a bunch of BL. And so we're going to start with Twilight Out of Focus, Volume 1 by Jaya Nomi. It's a teen romance, but there is some explicit scene which kind of shocked me. I thought this was an adult romance. I guess I should have read the back first. So we got Mao and Hisashi. They go to an old boys' school and they're both roommate. And then suddenly Mao had to make a promise to keep a secret that Hisashi is gay and has a boyfriend. But however, Hisashi suddenly had feelings for Mao decided to have feelings for Hisashi. And eventually they had to work together for a club to film a movie. I believe Mao is part of this club. And they decided to cast Hisashi because he seems to be the right fit for this certain actor. And of course, Hisashi had a hard time adjusting and having Hisashi around because he has feelings for him. And then when it comes to Hisashi, he has a boyfriend who happened to be older than him. And then this boyfriend kind of brought him in when he was young because Hisashi had some misunderstanding with his family. Kind of sad, but unexpectedly, the boyfriend decided to break up with him, or I believe Hisashi broke up with him. And of course, Hisashi was a mess. And of course, Mao decided to comfort him, and things happen suddenly. So when it comes to the romance, it's very fast and straightforward. I wanted this to be, slow burn, but it is what it is. Do I like this story? I do. There's potential. I do want to see where it goes and read more of it. But I'm not really a big fan how the romance is so quick because it was just so sudden. And in other words, I think you guys know where this is heading. Mao and Hisashi start hooking up, and of course things happen. I'm going to show you guys a few pages. All right, let's see. Oh, there is let's see. Here we go. That is Hisashi and Mao. Nice illustration. But yeah, not bad so far. Again, I want to give it another chance because there is an anime. So I want to read a few volumes before reading the anime. So yeah. Guys, this is actually the last volume of this BL, Delinquent Daddy and Tender Teacher. I was surprised because at the very end, there was a bonus chapter about the son already in junior high, and so he's pretty much grown up at the end of the story. On top of that, the relationship between Sensei and Hiroki is getting stronger. Then one day Sensei had to live with Hiroki because his apartment was getting fixed, and this made them realize that they should live together one day, and they do because this is the final volume. And also Hiroki opened his cafe, and then Sensei decided to make a hard decision by quitting the school that he works for and then work another school that has a after school program because that's always his dream. And when it comes to the son, he's very supportive about their relationship, and the son is of course so happy that Sensei is going to start living with them someday. But he was worried that Sensei was going to stop teaching. However, he had the wrong idea. So overall, I do like this series. It's just so cute and heartwarming. It's just all about working together and having this determination that, love is very powerful. And since there's a kid in the picture, they were worried at first, but the son is very supportive. I'm still in shock that this is the final volume. No wonder the bonus story was kind of confusing because he's all grown up. They already started living together. He started his new job. And yeah, it was a really wonderful series. So on this picture, we got Hiroka, and across him is Sensei. And then this guy on, I think, brown hair, that's actually Sensei's coworker. The three of them actually know each other since high school or middle school. And then opposite of this guy, which is holding a wine bottle or something, that's his boyfriend. So at first, I think Hiroka was kind of worried about his relationship with Sensei, but then sooner or later they find out, and oh my god, they're just so happy for each other. I really love this story. I just can't believe it. This is the final volume, and it even says right there, final volume. I guess I wasn't paying attention, but anyway, definitely recommend it. It's a short series of just 6 volume. The story goes pretty quick. I love it. It has some explicit scene, of course, since this is 17 and plus. Yeah, another series done, guys. That is awesome. Alright, guys, I decided to jump and start reading Gachi Okuta, read 2, 3, and 4. This is by Kei Urana, graffiti design by Hideyoshi Ado. It is because I just saw the first episode, and of course, I rather know what's gonna happen next before watching the anime, and decided to just read 3 volumes. So in the last volume, we found out that Rudo was thrown to the pit, and then in the pit, there's another whole world of people. At first, he thought it was just full of trash, but no. And then at the same time, he found out that he has a power called the Giver, and then he was introduced in this group called the Cleaners. They basically are like, who tries to defeat Trash Beast Monster and, save the people or make sure they are safe in case they're in danger. So yeah, this series, they have power. So when it comes to their power, they use like a certain instrument for each character. For example, this guy, his instrument is an umbrella. He weaponized it. This girl's instrument is a scissor, and this guy is a staff. I hope that makes sense. And then when it comes to Rudo, he's kind of special. He doesn't have a specific instrument. So basically whatever he touch, as long as he put like feelings or, maybe mana, like he can weaponize it. And it's pretty cool, honestly. I didn't expect that this series will have powers. But yeah, that was a big shock to me. So other than that, Rudo joined this group, the Cleaners. And his main goal is to go back up, which is called the Spear. However, there's another group called the Raiders. They're like the bandits, the enemy, the bad people. They've been actually trying to kidnap people from above, I guess, to do experiment or gain some information, because the Raiders wants to go up. And so they've been trying to kidnap Rudo, but of course they fail. And now the Cleaners are trying to find more information, because there's this lady where they found Rudo that she witnessed somebody going up and down, because right now the main goal is to figure out how to go up, because that's what Rudo wants, as well as the Raiders. But of course, there's always a lot of obstacles and challenges, because the enemy always comes in the pictures and disrupt their mission, because right now their main goal is to capture Rudo, because he's special, he's from above. And I have a feeling that the leader might know him. It is because the gloves that he's wearing right now. So about Rudo, he has something about his hand that's very mysterious, and so he used this glove to cover it up. And then in the glove, there's like a certain design that the raider or one of the raider recognized, and now like, okay, that's another mystery. So in my opinion, I think the raiders leader might know Rudo, or maybe someone that they know about Rudo's parents or someone else. So yeah, it is definitely full of mystery, a lot of twists here and there, a lot of new information. But other than that, if you don't want to read the manga, try watch the anime, because so far it's really good, and I'm looking forward to read and watch the anime as well. Though I want to add this manga is super easy to read. There's just more pictures, sometimes there's less word. As you can see, the illustration is pretty interesting. It can be kind of like confusing for me to follow what's going on, because sometimes I feel like it's all over the place. But other than that, it's really good so far. Oh, in the last volume that I read, they were on a mission to find that woman, and something happened to them, because it looks like there was another trap. So I was debating to read more, but you know what? I'm going to save that next time. All right, just finished reading Windbreaker. I know exactly what's going to happen in this volume, because the anime is way ahead. And so in the last volume, they had a big fight in the red lights district, because this group of guys are looking for a girl. However, that fight went well, and Tsubaki was able to change somebody's heart and realize, these guys had so many struggles, and they had to do what they had to do in order to find work and support themselves. And that was a really touching moment, because you just learn a lot from each characters from this story, and that's what I love about Windbreaker. There's a lot of characters development, a lot of emotion, but at the same time you just learn a lot. Aside from the fight, of course, we got a new character named Endo. He's a former foreign student. He kind of like interrupted, and of course he had to say what he wanted to say and kind of provoke everyone, but he kind of went on his way because they need to avoid this fight because Endo is a very dangerous guy. We do get to learn more about him and another character because in this volume we get to learn about the history of both Furin and how it came and how it all started. Yeah, so that was a nice to read about because apparently there's been a lot of violence and chaos back in the days, and since Umi came in the picture, everything went well, and then all of a sudden he feels like it might repeat again because of Endo and then another character. I think his name is Takeshi. But yeah, really good story. I'm always a big fan of Windbreaker. Whenever a new volume comes out, I have to read it because I always enjoy and love reading Windbreaker. I definitely recommend it. If not, you can always watch the anime since there's 2 seasons. So, great news about Windbreaker. They're gonna release a new volume every month until December, I believe. So I'm so excited for that. So this way, we don't have to wait every other month, guys. And that way, we can keep up in Japan release as well. So yeah, this is Windbreaker. Again, there was just fights. The fight ended, they made new friends and new comrades, and then a new character is in the picture named Endo and Takeshi. It seems like there's going to be another big fight, and we'll see how that goes because I think I've already seen a bunch of spoilers. So yeah, always looking forward to reading Windbreaker, and I'm just excited for that every release every month, guys. Okay, getting back to reading more BL. This one's called The Dragon's Betrothed. Story and art by Meguro Hinohara. I really like the story. It's cute and funny. Our main 2 characters, Rin and Chiharu, met at the train station because Rin is waiting for his beloved wife. Now, he doesn't know what his wife looked like. All he knows is that he was promised to marry someone years ago, while Chiharu is waiting for his friend to pick him up. After a nice conversation, Rin asked for his name. After finding out his name, Rin was completely surprised because Chiharu is supposed to be his wife. It is because Chiharu's grandma passed away. However, Chiharu's grandma met Rin a long time ago, and that she promised that, yeah, you'll marry my daughter, but it's a guy. Now, there is a story or a legend or myth, part of this story, about a dragon making a promise that he was gonna get a wife, so stuff like that. And Rin's main goal is definitely to win Chiharu's heart because Chiharu doesn't think this is any of the truth. He just wants to ride. But Rin is very determined and stubborn. He's following Chiharu left and right, even trying to make friends of Chiharu's friends because they're neighbor. And suddenly, Chiharu decided to just let him stay in his place because he's just very goofy and stubborn. He doesn't want to get away from Chiharu, and so he cooks and cleans for him. And yeah, it's just so cute because Rin is so determined and making sure that he will win Chiharu's heart. But you know what? Chiharu is slowly getting there. It is because he's feeling slowly certain warmness, and he feels at ease. Especially he can sleep way better next to Rin because they do end up sleeping together, but not in that way. Even though it's just explicit content, there's no really explicit yet. But yeah, I really like the story. It's cute. It's so much fun. I enjoy my time. Now, at the end of this volume, there's another animal that show up that knows Rin. So Rin is a dragon, and then a fox show up. He's causing trouble. He's hurting Chiharu at the same time. Luckily, Rin came in time to save Chiharu, but at the same time, his neighbor's son is also there. So a lot of secrets been revealing. And yeah, we'll see what's going to happen next and what this fox wants. Maybe this fox doesn't want Rin, to spend time with the humans or something like that. But yeah, looking forward to read more of this BL. Let me show you guys the inside. Really nice illustration. I think it's just super funny. Rin is adorable. I really like it. Definitely give this a try if you can. Okie dokie. Yes, here we are. We have another BL called Anti-Romance, story and art by Shoko Hidaka. I do really like the story. I think it's because there's just a lot of unpredictable, and that's what I like about this story. Because sometimes BL romance can be very predictable and too quick, in my opinion. But this one, it's very juicy, a little bit of tension. But I think the part that, okay, let's just get started. Our main character, now their name sounds the same. We got Sho and Rio. They've been best friends since childhood, and they've been living together as a roommate for 6 years. And Sho has realized, like, okay, there's really nothing going on with us. We're just working in and out. And he's kind of very messy, while Rio, he always reminds Sho to clean his room, this and that. And so he's a writer and he's like a hairstylist. So yeah, they're busy with work, they hang out, go drinking, but at times it feels like they're just very reserved from each other, and it's like their friendship is kind of like slowly fading away. I think it's because Sho, on the other hand, he has feelings for Rio this whole entire time, but I guess he doesn't know what to do with his feelings until his coworker named Tawada-san. He was the one who really pushed Sho to, be honest with yourself and tell your roommate that you love him, because Tawada-san kind of brought Sho on this scene where it was like an all men bar, I believe, and Sho had this shocking expression, and then Tawada was very surprised. Like, he knew along that, whenever Sho brings up his roommate, Tawada-san realized that he really liked his roommate Rio. And then one day, just one day, when Rio came from work or so, he suddenly made a move on him, and it was so unpredictable. I was in complete surprise. I was kind of like happy and just cheerful for him, because you can really tell from a character that he's been hiding this whole time. He wants to do something, but he didn't know how to do it, because I guess he doesn't have any friends to talk about until his coworker. But yeah, now Rio, of course, was in shock. Ever since that happened, they're kind of been like avoiding each other until one day they finally like came home at the same time, and then Sho did another move, and then Rio, this time he didn't really like push him back, like he just stayed there and like was still in shock. But I guess in his mind, like, this is my first time, being with the same guy, or like kissing a guy, because he's straight. But it seems like he doesn't mind, because I think deep inside he also like Sho, but maybe he doesn't know what to do with his feelings. But yeah, really, really nice story. I know I probably like said a lot of spoilers, but that's basically what happened. I mean, even the romance was a bit like a big surprise. It didn't feel like rush and like predictable, in my opinion. To me, this was just full of surprise. I just love the fact that these two, like, they didn't know what to do with each other at first, because they've been living together for the past 6 years. It feels like their friendship has become dry, and all they do is work, blah blah blah. But yeah, that was completely surprised when Sho made a move to Rio, and he seems just very happy, and it's like a big sigh of relief that he finally did what he probably always wanted to do, and thanks to Tawada-san. So yeah, really like the story, guys. I definitely recommend it. Now, I believe this is a short series of just 2 volumes, so I can't wait to get volume 2. And yeah, there's no really explicit scene, since it's just older teen and plus, very innocent. I really like it. Yeah, enjoy. I definitely enjoy anti-romance. Okay, let me show you the inside. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh my god, that end, I was even more surprised. This is just full of surprise. So like the last few pages is color. Like, look at that. Oh my god, it's so wonderful. Okay, I might have like skipped some few pages, but you get the gist. But yeah, oh, that's so cool. It's colored. I love it. And even the front is also colored. But yeah, anti-romance, try read it if you can. All right, just finished this BL, except this series has like 3 separate. So This one is called I Hear the Sunspot Limit 1. Before Limit, there's another volume, and then you get the Limit series 1, 2, 3. Then after that, it's called the fourth season. That is why when I was reading this, I was kind of confused. These two already know each other. And at the same time, this story also talks about someone with hearing disability. So Koi has, I think he can hear only one ear, and he's still in college. While Taichi, he has a job. I guess these two known each other either in college. They probably met in college. And they are going up, but the relationship is kind of like unsure. They don't know their status. This is their first time, being with the same man. And so, yeah, it's a bit confusing at first when I read this, but now it kind of all makes sense because there's another volume prior to this, and I wish I read that first. But it was still nice to read. These two are still figuring out about their relationship. Taichi is busy with work while Koi, still in college, and at the same time, it's like their relationship is not getting better. It feels like they're getting distant and distant even more. And then on this story, Taichi had a work retreat, and then they were supposed to go to a trip together, but of course they had to cancel that. And then Koi, on the other hand, like he wants to get closer with Taichi, but he doesn't want to force anything to Taichi. And it seems like, Koi is always taking the lead on, but then Taichi sometimes feel uncomfortable. And on top of that, Koi's hearing is not getting better, and he has a friend that he does, fully sign language. And then one day she took him to this club that's all, people with deaf disability. And then one of the guys there, he's very pushy when it comes about like don't worry about if you lose your hearing, you have people like us. And then Kohei, I think he's like losing his sense of identity. Like he really cares about Taichi. I think he realized that he really wanna have his hearing get better, but then you have this guy who's like, why you should worry about losing your hearing, it's okay. But at the same time, Koi is like, he doesn't know what to do. Like, he did have a suggestion from the doctor that he could get an implant to get his hearing better, and that's like another like an argument whether he should do it or not, because this guy that was very pushy saw a flyer that he had it with him, Kohei, and he was definitely like not agreeable with that. He threw the paper, and yeah, there's more to it. Definitely, it seems like Kohei is stuck between like, what he should do next about his hearing, and at the same time he really cares for Taichi. So yeah, it's a really nice story. You just learn about people with hearing disability, and then about the relationship between Taichi and Kohei. Yeah, I definitely need to read the first one, so this way everything will flow beautifully. So here's the inside. Okay, really nice illustration. It's fun to read. It's very educational, and of course the struggles between Kohei and Taichi. But yeah, definitely gotta read the first one before I can move on. Okay, dokie, I'm gonna wrap up this reading log. This reading log was about a week of reading log, because last week, well, I didn't read anything. I was slacking off, so this week I definitely like needed some reading, because I do miss reading when I don't read, because there are times I'm just not in the mood, but there are times like I do want to read, but I don't know if I should read. But anyway, it's a good read this week. A lot of BL. I'm also trying to catch up some other series like Gachiakuta. It is because the anime just came out. I really like the series. A lot of mystery, a lot of action, and some supernatural. Definitely recommend reading this manga. If not, watch the anime. All right, we got Twilight Out of Focus. This one was okay. Romance a bit too quick for me. And then Dealing with Daddy and Tender Teacher. Oh my god, I didn't know this was the final volume. I really like this series. It's so cute and adorable. Definitely recommend it. And then of course we have Windbreaker, one of my top manga of last year. I don't know what else to say. It's just a really good series and I really love it. And then we got Dragon's Betrothed. That one was quite funny. I really like it. Looking forward to read the next volume. We got Anti-Romance and I Hear the Sunspot. Two of them, first volume, and really good so far. First impression, I really like it, and yeah, just gonna see where it goes. And then I Hear the Sunspot. Guys, if you guys gonna read this, make sure you read the first one before the Limit series, because I was confused when I read the first limit. But overall, such a good read, and I need to continue reading more because I want to go through them so this way I know which I want to keep or not, because I am moving. And so yeah, let me know what you guys think about this reading log. Have you guys read any of these? Do you have a favorite or something that you don't like? Let me know in the comment. If not, thank you for watching this reading log. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys next time.